The wedding drums fell silent under the scorching sun of Ezi Ama. 200 guests turned as the ragged beggar at the back row stood. His tattered clothes dropped like a discarded costume, revealing a gleaming tailored suit that flashed in the fierce light. His voice rolled over the square, calm, commanding, impossible to ignore.
True strength is not found in the absence of fear, but in the decision to face it. We will move forward, united.
"Stop this ceremony," he said. "This woman deserves better than a man who spits on the helpless." At the altar, 19-year-old Amara Nwosu froze in her borrowed gown. Her wrist was locked in the iron grip of Dapo Adigun, the cruel merchant she was being forced to marry. The crowd stared, stunned. This was no ordinary interruption. This moment would expose everything they thought they knew about power, wealth, and human nature.
African Karma Stories.
Dapo's gold teeth flashed like a predator's smile, but his eyes were blades. He squeezed Amara's wrist until pain shot up her arm. "Who is this madman?" he snarled. The beggar didn't flinch. He reached into his worn jacket and drew out a thick leather wallet, bulging with crisp naira. A gold watch glinted like captured fire. A sleek smartphone gleamed too fine for any man who begged for scraps. Elderly women began to whisper prayers. Chief Emeka Okori swallowed hard. Auntie Ngozi, Amara's guardian, stumbled backward as if she had been struck. In a flash of steel, Dapo drew a curved knife from beneath his robe and pressed it against Amara's throat. "I don't care if you're the president," he growled. "She's mine. The ceremony is binding. Her land comes with her." The beggar's eyes went cold. "Nothing about this is legal," he said, his voice steady as stone. "And what I'm about to reveal will end more than your plans. It will end your empire." The crowd held its breath. And then in their minds, time rewound to where this story truly began. Before dawn, Amara woke on a thin mat spread over hard earth. She fetched water, lit the fire, and stirred thin porridge that barely quieted a growling stomach. No matter how little they had, she always set aside a portion for the beggars, who moved through the village like living ghosts. "You're a fool," Auntie Ngozi hissed. "We barely have enough, and you're feeding strangers?" Ezi Ama was a place of mud walls and corrugated roofs, of dusty paths that turned to rivers in the rains. Dreams of Lagos, Echo, felt as distant as the stars. For a girl like Amara, the future seemed fixed. Marriage to whoever could pay, children born into the same poverty, burial in the same soil. Until destiny knocked, disguised as a starving old man. He looked like suffering carved from flesh. White, wild hair, a bent back, bare, cracked feet. "Please, daughter," he whispered, voice like wind through dry leaves. "I have not eaten in 3 days." Amara stared at their last yam, their only meal for tomorrow. Then she gave it to him, along with her own water. Tears ran down his face. "Call me Baba Chike," he said, smiling through pain. From that day, he came with the sunrise. Sometimes he received food. Sometimes only water and kind words. She never turned him away. People called her foolish, but she remembered. True wealth lives in the soul, not the pocket. Someone was watching, taking notes, waiting. He arrived like a harmattan wind, dry and dangerous. Dapo Adigun, 35, rich by local standards, cruel by any standard. He counted naira notes like a man buying livestock. "Your niece is 19, he told Auntie Ngozi. ignoring Amara as if she were furniture. Old enough to marry, young enough to train. I'll pay well. She works hard, knows her place, Auntie said, eyes locked on the money. Perfect, Dapo smiled. My previous wives forgot their duties. I reminded them, forcefully. Then Auntie added, cold as ash. She still wastes food on beggars. Beat that foolishness out of her. Dapo laughed, a sound like breaking glass. I'll beat worse if she crosses me. One evening, returning from the well, Amara paused outside her own wall. Voices drifted through, low, secretive. Once the marriage is finalized, her farmland becomes his, a man said. Prime soil by the river bend. Investors from the city will pay a fortune. Auntie Ngozi asked the only question that mattered to her. How much? Enough to buy half the buildings in Lagos, the man chuckled. The girl is just the legal key. Amara staggered away. They didn't want her. They wanted her inheritance, the small farm where her parents lay beneath the ancient Iroko tree, where she learned to plant and tend with her own hands. That night, when Baba Chike arrived, she broke. She told him everything. He listened, then asked strangely precise questions. Exact acreage, the legal boundaries in her parents' will, the witnesses at registration. Why do you need all this? She asked. He smiled, and steel glinted beneath his gentleness. Sometimes the only way to catch a rat is to let it believe the trap is made of cheese. The next day, Chief Emeka sent for her. His voice was formal, cold. I've heard disturbing reports that you're spreading lies about your intended husband. Chief, I haven't, she began. He cut the air with his hand. Tomorrow. The wedding is tomorrow. If you cause any scene, I will have you bound and delivered like a sack of grain. As she stumbled out, she heard him through the thin wall. Make sure Dapo pays the remaining balance tonight. That girl's inheritance is worth 10 times what we're charging him. Her father's oldest friend had sold her future. The world tilted. Trust cracked like dry clay. That evening, the married women arrived to prepare the bride. It should have been blessings and wisdom. Instead, it became a coordinated breaking. So someone finally agreed to take you, sneered Mama Ayo. We wondered who'd be desperate enough. Another laughed. Used goods, off the shelf. Then came the lies about her parents. They died in shame, one hissed. Debts everywhere. You're lucky any respectable man will clean up their mess. After they left, silence pressed on the hut like a lid. Then Baba Chike appeared at the window like a guardian spirit. I heard the crows, he said softly, feeding on carrion and spreading poison. Maybe they're right, she whispered. Maybe I deserve this. His eyes flashed. Remember this, child. Truth wins, no matter how many lies are stacked against it. Justice often comes from unexpected places, and those who mistake kindness for weakness learn too late. Someone has been watching everything, every act of kindness and every act of cruelty. Tomorrow's chapter isn't written yet. Storm clouds gathered over Ezi Ama as the drums began. Dapo arrived in flowing agbada, gold chains at his neck. Where is my beautiful bride? He boomed. The crowd cheered and avoided his eyes. Amara was led out like a sacrifice. Chief Emeka spoke of love and respect, words that sounded like mockery in his mouth. Do you, Dapo Adigun, take this woman? I do, he said, grinning, along with everything that comes with her. And do you, Amara? Her throat closed against the lie. Let the girl speak, Dapo warned, tightening his grip. Then the ragged beggar rose. I object, he declared, voice ringing across the square. With each step, he seemed to grow taller. His shuffling gait became the confident stride of a man who commands boardrooms. He reached the front, calm and unshakable. "My name is not Baba Chike," he said. "My name is Obinna Nadozie. I am the founder and CEO of Nadozie Holdings, one of the largest business conglomerates in West Africa." A gasp rippled through the crowd. Some whispered prayers. Obinna lifted the phone. A video played, Dapo's voice, sharp and ugly. "Drink from the gutter, you animal." People remembered. Heads bowed. Obinna opened a thick manila folder. His voice rolled like thunder over the savannah. "For 6 months, I walked among you as the lowest, testing, watching, searching for a heart rarer than diamonds." His gaze found Amara. It softened. "I found one." Then he turned to the predators. He named the crimes with surgical precision. Predatory loan sharking at over 200% interest, forged land documents to steal 3 families' farms, an elderly couple's land taken after a suspicious house fire. He spoke the names of the young women the village tried to forget. Blessing Ogbodo, 17, found in the river 3 days after rejecting Dapo. Grace Danladi, 20, vanished after he threatened her family. He faced Chief Emeka, the 15,000 naira to rush this wedding. The promised 50,000 after Dapo gained control of the inheritance. Bank records, recorded calls, dates, times. He turned to Auntie Nogozi. "And you, the guardian who sold her niece for coins." He pressed play. Her own voice filled the air. "She's obedient. If she steps out of line, beat her." From the edges of the crowd, police emerged like spirits from mist, silent, efficient, inevitable. Dapo tried to bluster, to threaten, to run. Handcuffs clicked. The chief's knees buckled. Auntie's jewelry rattled like chains. The trap had been set for months. Now it snapped shut. Obinna knelt in front of Amara with a gentleness that undid monks of fear. "You have choices now," he said. "Real choices. Your land is safe. My lawyers secured the title months ago. What do you want to do with the freedom you earned through kindness?" As Dapo was dragged away, still spitting empty threats, the villagers faced themselves. They had nearly destroyed a girl whose only crime was sharing bread and water. 1 year later, Ezi Ama was transformed. Clean water flowed from new boreholes. Children streamed into a proper school. No one went hungry, ability to pay or not. But the greatest change lived in their hearts. Judge by character, not circumstance. Understand that kindness and justice can meet and move mountains. If this story touched your heart, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and share it with someone who needs hope today. More importantly, find your own Baba Chike this week. Share water, share bread, share humanity.